Tomorrow's headlines today. Good afternoon, Klamath Basin. It's Tuesday, March 5th, 2019. I'm Kurt Liedtke with the Herald and News. Here's a preview of stories that you can find in tomorrow's edition of the Herald and News. These are tomorrow's headlines today. It's not official yet, but get ready to see some new signs and stationery. Legislation to change the name from the Tule Lake Unit of the World War II Valor in the Pacific National Monument to the Tule Lake National Monument has passed the House and Senate and now awaits an expected signature of approval from President Donald Trump. Tule Lake's name redesignation is a small part of the broad-sweeping 260-page Senate Bill 47 National Resources Management Act that was easily approved by bipartisan votes in the House and Senate. The Tule Lake Segregation Center is located near Newell. It spanned 7,400 acres and included more than 1,000 barracks plus other buildings that, at its peak, incarcerated 18,000 Japanese Americans and was staffed by roughly 1,800 people. It closed in 1946. On Sunday, around 7:15 p.m., police responded to reports of a reported vehicle versus pedestrian motor vehicle crash on Crater Lake Parkway north of the intersection of Pacific Terrace. Officers arrived on scene and found a woman with life-threatening injuries who eventually died as a result. The woman was identified as Andrea Louise Campos, age 58, who had been walking northbound on the sidewalk on Crater Lake Parkway just prior to the crash. Investigators believe Campos had crossed the street in a dark section of the roadway between intersections where there was no crosswalks, where she was then struck by a vehicle traveling southbound. A timber industry lawsuit challenging the Obama administration's expansion of the Cascade-Siskiyou National Monument was heard by a federal judge in Medford on Tuesday. The case, Murphy Company v. Trump, argues the former president did not have the authority to enlarge the monument because the expansion included Oregon and California Railroad revested lands, also known as the O-lands, that had already been designated for timber production. The O-lands comprise more than 2 million acres of forest in western Oregon. The land was set aside by Congress in 1937 to provide income for local communities. An Oregon law known as open enrollment that allowed students to easily transfer between school districts has now expired, but Klamath County students can still request a transfer between districts using inter-district transfer policies between the Klamath County School District and Klamath Falls City Schools. Under inter-district transfer policies, a student may transfer between districts if the student receives consent to transfer from both the district of residence and the receiving district. For the 2019-20 school year, Klamath County School District has capped at 140 the number of students who can transfer. And those are just a few of the stories you can find detailed in the Wednesday, March 6th Herald and News. Be sure to follow us online via Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, and of course, heraldandnews.com. You can also subscribe to our podcast on iTunes and Google Play. Be sure to check back each day for the latest podcasts, videos, and breaking news impacting the Klamath Basin. And thanks for listening.